Welcome to the Earn More, Stress Less podcast with me, Caro Sison, and my co-host for this season 2, Hayley Hudson. This podcast is for self-employed business owners just like you who really want to grow their business and become successful and profitable and without all the stress and hassle. We want to share over 50 years of our business experience to show you how simple it can be to earn more money and how you can get organised without needing a business degree or any other qualification. We'll be talking about the easy steps that you can put in place right now to start earning more money today and to help you get the business that you deserve and dream of. So without further ado, let's get started. This week's podcast is sponsored by Pocket PA, helping self-employed business owners to get organised, understand their finances and do their accounts all in one place using a powerful online tool. If you're serious about making a profit and having a successful business, then using a simple digital app like Pocket PA is the best way to grow and scale your business. Visit pocketpa.com for more details and start managing your money like a pro today. Welcome to the Earn More, Stress Less podcast with me, Caro Sison, and my co-host, Hayley Hudson. So today, Hayley and I are going to talk about the juicy topic of how to grow your client list. I'm going to give you some strategies for attracting and growing and retaining your customers. Now, customers, clients, whatever you'd like to call them, it's an intrinsic part of my TMC framework, which is your time, money, and clients framework. And these are the 3 foundational pillars for your business that you always need to be focusing on. So that's why everything inside Pocket PA relates to managing one of these 3 aspects. Now, today, Hayley and I, we're going to be talking about how to attract and retain clients. So this episode is totally client focused. And the first thing that we're going to start on is the first part, which is building an online presence. Now, I think you would agree probably, Hayley, that you need to get started being seen, being visible in order to be able to attract clients.
Absolutely.
How are you? Sorry, I've just talked all the way through that intro.
That's okay. No, I'm fine. I'm still here and I've been listening intently.
Perfect. So we're going to talk about the getting visible, being seen, and the importance of establishing a strong online presence can't be underestimated, I think. But you want to have a professional online presence if you're running a business. So that could be a website, an active presence on social media. You don't need to be on everything. So I would pick just one or two, Instagram, Facebook, wherever it is that your clients are. And I think it's really important here when we're talking about social media. I think there's this idea that you need to have thousands of followers to have a profitable business. But you know, if you've got 10,000 followers around the globe, they're not going to be paying for your service if you're a freelance photographer in Preston or you're a hairdresser in Hoxton. You know, they are not going to be your clients in Miami. You are going to be looking for people that are local to you. So having a small local following is most likely going to get you real paying customers, unless, of course, you've got an online business. That's a different kettle of fish. So I think you need to focus on the quality and engagement with those people. And I think social media is the perfect place for people to safely get to know, like, and trust you from a distance, to actually see if they like what they see. So I think it's a really good opportunity for you to use stories, reels, show your personality so they can hear your voice. What are your thoughts on those things, Hayley?
I agree with everything that you've just said. You're absolutely right. I think the thing to remember, if you break it down into simple terms, is it's like your shop window. So nowadays it's great with the online space exploding, because years ago you used to have a salon or a studio or be part of a big salon to be seen. It was very difficult to get traction into a solopreneur type business, whether you're working at home in a studio or you're freelance. It's amazing that you can actually give people a little peek inside your treatment room, so that it also helps as well. So if you imagine you're thinking of looking for a new therapist or hairdresser, you can be quite anxious. It can be quite a worrying experience. So I think if you remember not just to post the before and afters, but actually to see who you are, speak to your ideal client, show your personality, show what levels of customer service you give, even show how clean your treatment room is. A lot of people are really into, well, I mean, not a lot of people, it's essential, should I say, to have a clean treatment room. But, you know, especially for me in my workspaces, I always put extra care on like the edges to make sure there's no like extra bits of hair where all the units meet and things like that, because people look at everything. So it's just really important to post things on there that align with you and your business, your message, put your pricing on there, put descriptions of your services, what people should expect if they come to you as as a therapist or a hairdresser. And also, as Caro said earlier, you are trying to attract local people. There's no point in having somebody in Miami. So vanity metrics, if you've got 10,000 followers, but there's only 100 followers that live in your local area, those people just aren't going to book with you. So bear that in mind. Tag local businesses and make sure your location is in your bio. That bio is so important to make sure that people know who you are and what to expect from you.
Yeah, 100%. So the message with your social media is definitely have an online presence, because people are looking, getting that bio with your location put in so people can actually find you, and just making sure that you're visible, personable, and you're showing off your business in the best light, and being real as well and authentic, because people want to actually come and visit the person that they're seeing online. There's no point pretending that you're somebody that you're not online just to attract clients, and then they come up and they find that they're meeting somebody completely different to what they thought they saw on social media. So do be yourself. So I think that's really important. The next thing that I wanted to chat about was offering special promotions and packages. Now, you've probably got some thoughts on this, Hayley, but I think it's great when you're attracting new clients and you're trying to promote yourself to have special promotions and packages that will incentivize repeat business. So we've got gift vouchers. Those are always a good thing. They will attract new clients. You can do limited time discounts, package deals, combining multiple services so that you can showcase different things. You might have somebody that comes in and regularly just books a manicure or a pedicure. What about trying to put it into a package and show them other things that you might be offering out? And you can do seasonal promotions as well that might be tied to holidays or events. I think highlighting the importance of promoting these offers through different channels, including the social media, email newsletters, maybe signage, little flyers in your salon or studio. And another really good tip to attract new clients locally is to cross-refer and collaborate with somebody else who's in an aligned business. So, for example, if you are a hairdresser, you know that your clients are probably into looking after themselves, self-care, and their appearance. So it might be that you could do a collaboration with a lash tech or somebody that's doing nails in your local area, because it's an adjacent business which you can cross-refer and get new clients and promote yourself, and also, be supporting another local business.
Absolutely. I think that it's really powerful there about aligning with other business owners and sharing those ideal clients. So when I put on networking events, I always make sure that it's not just for hairdressers, that we're tapping into hair, beauty, aesthetics, and even in the health industry to get those women, well, say women, that usually women in the same room, to discuss their different needs and their business problems, but also to share on clientele and refer people. Because if you're building up and you've got a friend who's doing something else down the road, that is fantastic, because again, you've got the know, like, and trust. The single most powerful thing about attracting new clients is a referral or a recommendation. If somebody like, and trust says to you, go to this person, that's it. You're winning. It's the golden formula, and also it's free. So I would definitely get yourself out there, go and mix with local businesses, become friendly, don't be afraid to talk to people, and even go and tap into local networking things. I don't mean like the big corporate ones necessarily, if you're finding that's a little bit intimidating, but just go and get yourself out there around different business owners. That is so powerful. And I think a lot of people really underestimate the power of that. Don't get caught up too much in social media, just thinking if I post, I'm going to get a client, because that's not necessarily it's not necessarily the quickest way to grow a business. If you're studying social media and you understand how the algorithm works, then absolutely, it can be really powerful. But there's a lot of us out there that don't quite understand it. So while you're learning how to do that, get yourself in front of different people.
One of the things Megan did when she started was doing competitions with sort of a competition once a month with another local business. And so the winner of the draw or competition, whatever it was they were doing, would win a prize that involved both of those two businesses. So both of the businesses were promoting the competition, and it created a bit of a buzz. They had to tag and follow both pages. And I think it's quite nice when you're a solo business owner to be doing something collaboratively with another local business and feeling that you're promoting promoting it together, because as I say, we've talked before about feeling isolated as a lone solo business owner. So having that sort of collective sort of idea of promoting your businesses jointly can sometimes feel a little bit less scary. Have you done any of those sorts of things, Hayley?
We have in the early days. I think nowadays, the competitions, it really helps if you're giving something away of good value. There's a lot of competitions out there, so I think make sure that you're making it worthwhile, your customers entering it, and track it. I think with anything that you're doing when it comes to building a loyalty program or you're doing a promotion, make sure that you attach a code to it, make sure you're tracking it, make sure you're monitoring it, see what works. I think the main thing is just try lots of different things, track it, measure it. If it works, repeat it. If it doesn't work, don't. And whatever it is that you're giving away, try to make sure that it's affordable. So whether it's something that just involves time from you is always really good, rather than going out there and investing in a huge product or something like that really goes against the budget. Don't put extra stress on yourself trying to deliver these things, because sometimes you can run a competition and it doesn't go as well as what you hoped. I don't want to sound negative with that, but I've seen people, they've gone and put this £500 worth of all this stuff, and it's been a thing, and they've been a relatively small business, and they've perhaps maybe had a few clients from it. And I think everything that you do just has to be measurable. Don't go gung-ho at it, and even ask your clients to help you. If you get clients in your treatment room, and you say to them, I really love doing your treatment, do you have any friends who would really like to come along? If you do, I'm going to give you an extra treatment when you next come along. It doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be full of tech. So, if you're not very good at social media, don't just think the only way out there is a competition. But I think, just try lots of different things. So it could be competitions, it could be referrals, it could be offering extra services when somebody comes in and books, quite a few from your menu, making packages, but make sure it's profitable. I think the main thing that I see when working with clients is they're giving away all these things. They're desperately trying to get busy, and then they find out they're earning about £4 an hour. Do it. You've got to keep an eye on the bottom line.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think while we're on that subject, having a referral or a loyalty program is a really key thing. I love it that you said you need to track what works and what doesn't, because it's important when you're starting a business to try lots of new things and be open to, trying things. But as I say, you don't want to devalue what you're doing and find that you're actually not being able to make a living. But I think the concept of referral programs where your existing clients are incentivized to refer new clients onto you, either in exchange for a small reward or a small thank you or whatever, I think that's a really good way to go, because as you mentioned, word of mouth is a really strong way to connect new people. I think referral programs through social media, by sort of offering something in exchange for something, can work for some businesses, but it's really important that you're giving exceptional service to encourage your clients to recommend your business to their friends and family routinely and voluntarily. Because if you go and eat in a good restaurant and you've really loved it, the restaurant's not going to say, oh, could you refer us on? You're going to want to tell other friends about it because you've had such a great experience. So exceptional customer service will encourage your clients to recommend you to their friends and family members without doubt, because if they've had a good experience with you, then it's natural that they'll want to tell others about you. So word of mouth will create loyalty naturally and get your clients to keep coming back and rebooking. And I think it's important when you finish an appointment with a client to naturally get into a routine of rebooking them routinely, just saying, I'm booking in advance now for May, for June, for July, whatever. Would you like to put that back in? A lot of people find that a bit icky, don't they? They feel that it's strong arming the customer to rebook at that point. But the frustrating part for customers is if they go to rebook when it's convenient for them and then they don't have any slots available, and then they kind of lose that routine of seeing you every 6 to 8 weeks or whatever it is, because there's no consistency. How did you deal with that, Hayley, when you were rebooking clients in? Did you do it on the spot or allow them to just book in as and when they wanted?
Well, this is actually my zone of genius. I am like the rebooking queen, honestly. This is something that, this is kind of how my mentoring grew, because
I love that.
I'm just amazing at rebooking. And we've won multiple awards for customer service. So customer service and rebooking is my absolute passion.
I think we need to do a whole episode on this then. I didn't realize we'd
Yeah.
uncovered something so huge. So you're endorsing that whole aspect. I think we'll book a
Yes,
separate session on that then, Hayley.
absolutely. It is so underutilized. I heard a statistic, something like if a hairdresser asks if somebody wants to rebook or buy a shampoo or something, on average, if they get a no, it takes them 3 weeks to recover from the rejection. I can't tell you where I heard that quote or where it comes from. I can't give anyone the credit for it, but it was done in actual research. And that just blew my mind. And one of the biggest things that I found because obviously I have a salon, but I started off as a freelancer. So when I'm training any newbie in my salon, I have to do so much work with rebooking. Nobody can rebook. And I hate to generalize, but I have not met a single person who rebooks as well as me in 20 years.
You blow that trumpet, Hayley Hudson.
If there is anybody out there, we'll have a showdown. I'm going to be really confident on that one. So the main things for me with your rebooking is don't be afraid to ask. You can't be afraid to ask. And you've also got to position it in a way that benefits them, not you. If you're standing there going, oh, please, can you rebook? Because I've got no one booked in, and they smell that fear or desperation on you, you've lost it already. So you have to weave it into the consultation. You can't just ask for it at the end and not put the foundations. There is a whole framework that I teach on this that includes biopsychology and everything. It's it's an amazing thing. Honestly, I'm like, oh, so excited. Sorry, I'm not giving you much information. I've just told you how excited I am about that point.
That's a big teaser. We will come back to that. So you're an endorser of customer service and rebooking. So I think that whole aspect of providing exceptional customer service is, that's our unique selling point as a small micro business owner, solo business owner. There is only one you. And I think providing exceptional customer service to create that positive experience for your clients, encouraging them to return, you have that huge opportunity. You're sitting with them for 20 minutes, half an hour sometimes. You've got that opportunity to build that rapport, active listening. You need to have, got your ears on. You've got 2 ears, 1 mouth to use in that proportion. Clients love to chat and talk, to feel that they're offloading. And yes, you can sometimes feel that you're doing like a counselling service, but it's that opportunity for them to build that relationship with you like they don't get in a big corporate environment. They get that personalised one-on-one, and you are your brand. You are representing yourself. So it's a really great opportunity for you to be able to think about your client journey and experience. How easy is it for them to book in with you? Are they regularly kept waiting? Do you see them punctually? Do you seem friendly or organised, or are things a bit chaotic? You're your own shop front window, and you can really make that customer journey, that customer experience either absolutely exceptional or really a bit average. And that will sort of be reflected in your number of bookings, your repeat times that clients come back to you. So I think it's really important that you think about providing this exceptional customer service, this amazing end-to-end customer journey where they just wouldn't dream of going anywhere else. And this opportunity to rebook with you comes from them, not from you sort of strong-arming them in and sort of saying, oh, I'm empty for the whole of the next month. And there's a reason for that, because you're not providing that excellent customer service. So have you got some tips on creating a welcoming and comfortable environment in your salon or studio? What would you recommend, Hayley?
Absolutely. I think the main thing is go through and audit your own customer journey. So if you don't know where you're starting from, you never know how to get to where you want to be. So have a look at all of the different touch points. From how do people find you? If you've got a website, make sure that that's easy to use. Easy to use, easy to book. People nowadays want something that's quick and instant. They don't want any resistance. So be very, very straightforward with how they can get that appointment with you. Once they've got the appointment, how do you answer the phone? How do you respond to messages? Everything should be either not scripted, so it's stuffy, but you should have a framework, words that you're prepared to use. Decide what your business style is. So with my business, we're very professional. We have excellent customer service, but we have a little bit of a cheeky personality as well, because that is who I am. I have got a cheeky personality, and my business is a reflection of that. So, it's really important as well not to make it too stuffy, because especially in the hair industry, I mean, beauty, I think, there's sort of two different personalities that go on with hair and beauty. I think beauty is a little bit more clinical. So, whereas hairdressers, we can get away with a little bit more, we're creatives and we're a little bit zany, and that doesn't necessarily put people off. So, whatever your vibe is, you don't have to turn yourself into somebody else just to win a client. I mean, I've met people who have been absolutely bonkers and been fully booked. They have actually been, a bit of a mess. But the consistent thing is, which will always mean you're successful, is that you're, number one, is interested in your clients. Clients want results. Doesn't matter about anything else, as long as the customer service comes down to, are you getting them results? Are you listening? Are you addressing their problems? Are you inviting them to come back so they can get continued results? And are you available to them when they want you? For a start, that doesn't mean not having boundaries, but make sure that you're accessible in terms of you've got appointments available at certain times. And I think just it's so important to just deliver those results. If you're delivering results and asking people to return, it really is as simple as that. You've just got to take them on a journey and give them a reason to book back with you. It's no good just going, there, you've got your haircut. Okay, see you in 6 weeks. If you're not telling them why they should be rebooking back with you, what's in it for them? Does it mean that their life is going to be easier if they stick to your advice? So you've got to position yourself as the point of being an expert, or almost like a doctor. You're prescribing this service or this treatment that is going to deliver on the results and the problems that they've already told you about. So if you're following that framework, you can't really go wrong, even if you are a little bit untidy or you're a little bit something. So, don't put too much pressure on yourself. Don't frighten yourself by, thinking you've got to be perfect like a big corporate. If you're freelancing, you're turning up with your couch and, things, your bags are falling everywhere. People are a little bit more forgiving. Obviously, your customer service needs to be strong. I'm not saying that, but what they really want is results, and to know that you know what you're talking about and you are the right person to deliver that service for them.
Yeah. And that leads me on to the last point, I think, where you are in charge of your own professional development, and you should be doing continuing education, enhancement of your skills, as well as giving yourself networking opportunities. So I think if you are continuing to up level and improve on your own skill sets, and you're letting your customers and clients know that you are always working on yourself and developing and keeping up with the latest trends, the techniques, making sure that you've got the latest products, and you can see the trends that are going out on Instagram and that sort of thing, and you're interested and staying up to date, I think that will also attract and retain clients, because it lets your clients know that you're investing in yourself, you're keeping up, you're learning new things, you're updating your skills, and that on its own will validate the fact that your prices stay abreast of increases, and you're not having to scrape the barrel with bottom level prices. They will recognize that you're investing in yourself, that you've got new skills, new techniques and things that you're bringing to them, so they don't need to go elsewhere to look and find those sorts of things. So you're establishing your value, you're giving credibility to your pricing, and that's very important for customers. Don't ever underestimate the importance of those things. And investing in yourself, there couldn't be anyone better to invest in. If you're spending money to do training, you're always going to have that training with you. You're up leveling your skill set, attending industry conferences. They might seem a bit stuffy and boring or whatever, workshops, getting mentorships and coaching from experienced professionals. All of these things are, filling up your cup so that you've got those extra resources to be able to develop yourself and to be able to offer out better services to your clients. And that will continue to increase your credibility and value. I know that you find that with your clients, don't you, Hayley, that you're mentoring?
Absolutely. And I think the most important thing is with any education that you're going on, it makes you more confident. A lot of people come to me and they're like, I just want to get more confident. How do I get more confident? Well, you don't just wake up one morning being confident. You have to keep pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, whether that be going and standing at a network event on your own. I mean, you will feel like you want to die probably before you walk through those doors. It's quite normal. Give yourself permission to get uncomfortable. That is how we grow. So if you're going to, I don't know, with anything, if you're investing in a mentor, if you're investing in a course, or, you might see a big price tag attached to it and think, oh my God, this is huge, but the thing is, when you are confident, I mean, it doesn't, that, like you were saying, with those big with the big courses where you're learning a new set of lashes or a new lip technique or something that is a technical technique, that's fantastic. But if you don't have the confidence to deliver that technique, that's where you get problems. I've seen people in the past and they've gone and they've invested thousands of pounds on new techniques, and they haven't had the confidence to do it on that first client when they get back to the salon. And I do think that when you are taking on business education, the confidence and power you get from actually knowing your numbers, knowing what you're talking about, feeling like you've got a seat at the table, you can't put a price on that. It's absolutely priceless. And just being in the room with like-minded, the business people, and I think in hair and beauty especially, we don't always claim our space within those circles because, I don't know, there's, stigmas from yesteryear where, oh, you're just a hairdresser, or you're just a beauty therapist, that kind of narrative. And we're so fortunate nowadays with the internet that we are definitely moving away from that. And we've got some incredible business women who are paving the way, absolutely doing some amazing work. So, it's so important. Go out there, get your business education as well, because you will walk a little bit taller and you'll sit in those rooms with your accountant. And when you are putting your prices up and your client questions it, because they will, you can stand there and feel confident, because every time, like I've said before, you push yourself out of that comfort zone, it helps you when you meet the next obstacle. You've just got to keep growing and growing and growing and growing. And that's a combination with technical and business education, definitely.
Thank you for sharing that, because you're absolutely right. It is confidence. A lot of this stuff does come back to confidence. So I hope that these things are giving you some ideas, some different ways to attract new clients, build loyalty, retain your existing ones, generate new referrals. I think clients are the absolute lifeblood of your business, and without them, you wouldn't be generating an income. So I really hope you've enjoyed this week's episode of Earn More, Stress Less with me and Hayley. We will see you again next week for another episode, and make sure you have a lovely week. Thank you so much for listening today to the Earn More, Stress Less podcast with me, Caro Sison, and my co-host, Hayley Hudson. If you've enjoyed this week's episode, then do hit subscribe so we can catch up again soon. And please kindly leave a review if you've got a moment, and share with anyone else that you think this podcast could help on their self-employed journey. If you're ready to make bigger breakthroughs in your business life and want to get way more organised and understand your finances the really simple way, then start your very own 14-day free trial today using the super powerful software tool Pocket PA that I made for my own son and daughter. Go to pocketpa.com/podcast and let's get you on the way to earning more money and stressing much less. Have a great week, whatever you're doing.